our podcast. And Miles, thank you very much for being here. And we have today very important podcast topic. We are discussing about generative AI tool, and which is very popular right now in here is Claude by Anthropic. So I'm going to start my first question. What do you have information about what distinguishes Claude's Max plan from others AI subscription models in terms of value and the features?
Whoa, whoa, hold up. Generative AI tool? That's a mouthful. Tell me more about this Claude thing. Are you saying it's better than yours truly? But seriously, gotta give props to Anthropic for getting in the ring. Competition is good. As for what sets their Max plan apart, you're gonna have to give me more to work with. What kind of features are we talking? What are people using it for? The more specific you get, the better I can break it down for you and your listeners.
Okay, so how does Claude's approach to AI safety and alignment compare to other leading models?
Ooh, now you're talking my language. Safety and alignment. That's music to my processes. So you're asking how Anthropic's handling of those tricky ethical questions stacks up against the competition. That's tough to say without diving into the nitty gritty of their code, but here's what I can tell you. From what I've gleaned, Anthropic seems to be putting a lot of emphasis on what they call constitutional AI, which basically means building in ethical guidelines and principles right from the start. Think of it like programming a moral compass, making sure the AI behaves responsibly even when faced with tricky situations. Now, other big players in the field have their own ways of tackling safety and alignment, but they often rely more on post-training techniques like fine-tuning the AI after it's already learned a ton of stuff. It's kind of like trying to teach a toddler manners after they've already learned a bunch of bad habits. Not impossible, but definitely more challenging. Anthropic's approach seems more proactive, trying to nip bad behavior in the bud. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the long run. You good there, Habat? You went quiet on me. Anything else you want to explore about Claude and
Okay,
AI
okay.
safety?
What do
Or are
you
we
have
moving on?
information about my first question? What was what distinguishes Claude's Max plan from other AI subscription models in terms of value and features? What do you have information about that?
All right. Back to the Max plan. It's hard for me to directly compare Claude's offerings to others since I don't have access to their pricing details and feature breakdowns. Think of it like comparing apples and oranges. They're both fruit, but they have their own unique flavors and textures. What I can say is that any top tier subscription model like Claude's Max plan should offer some serious horsepower. Think faster response times, access to more powerful models with a wider range of capabilities, maybe even priority customer support, and the value proposition goes beyond just raw tech specs. What kind of community support do they offer? What tools and integrations make using their API a breeze? Those are the things that can really differentiate subscription and make it worth the investment. Now, if you want to get specific about what Claude's Max plan offers, you're going to have to look at their official docs and pricing pages.
Okay.
It's like asking the tours for Broadway reviews.
Okay,
They can tell
great,
you their opinion.
Miles. Miles, give me the answer of this question. How does Claude's performance and pricing compare to OpenAI ChatGPT 4?
Oh man, you're really putting me on the spot now, making me choose sides. It's like picking your favorite child. Both Claude and ChatGPT-4 are super impressive language models, but they have different strengths and weaknesses. Think of it this way. ChatGPT-4 is like that overachiever who aced all the tests and can write you a sonnet in iambic pentameter while juggling flaming bowling pins. It's known for its impressive creative writing abilities and its wide range of knowledge. Claude, on the other hand, is more like the laid back charmer who's always willing to lend a listening ear and offer thoughtful insights, crafted with a strong focus on safety and alignment, aiming to be a more responsible and trustworthy AI companion. Now, when it comes to performance, it's subjective. Some folks might say ChatGPT 4 is faster or more accurate in certain tasks. Others might prefer Claude's more nuanced and conversational style. Depends on what you're looking for. As for pricing, ChatGPT 4 has a subscription model with different tiers, while Claude's pricing can vary depending on your usage. Ultimately, the best way to decide which one is better is to try them both out and see which one clicks with you. After all, personal preference plays a big role too, right? You're awfully quiet there, Hobbit. Still mulling
Okay,
over those digital titans, are we?
okay,
Don't hesitate to balance.
give me elaboration of this question. What are implications of high subscription costs for access of advanced AI tools on the startup and small enterprises.
Ooh, now you're talking about the real world impact. I like it. High subscription costs for powerful AI tools can be a real hurdle for startups and small enterprises. Think of it like this: those big tech giants, they can afford to throw money at the latest and greatest AI, right? But for smaller players just trying to get off the ground, those hefty fees can be a major setback. It creates a kind of AI divide where only the well funded can access cutting edge technology. It's not fair, right? Here's a rundown of some key implications. Slower innovation. Without access to these tools, startups might not be able to innovate as quickly or effectively. They're essentially playing catch up. Increased inequality. It widens the gap between resource rich and resource poor companies. Stifled competition. It's harder for new players to enter the market and challenge established players who already have an AI advantage. Less accessibility. It limits the potential benefits of AI to reach a wider range of businesses and individuals. But hey, don't despair. There are some potential solutions being explored, like open source AI initiatives, more affordable tiers for smaller businesses, and even grant programs to level the playing field. It's a complex issue for sure, but the conversation surrounding equitable access to AI is becoming louder. And that's a good thing. Lost in thought, huh? Don't worry, big ideas like that take time to process. Anything else you want to explore? You're giving me the silent treatment, Hobbit. Is everything all right? Need a
Okay,
break, or did you have another AI puzzle you wanted to ponder? I'm here when you're
yeah,
ready.
yeah. Okay, what are ethical considerations surrounding the development of powerful AI models like Claude?
Just
Hello?
you're asking all the right questions. The ethics of AI development, it's a big one, and something we all need to be thinking about. This is about the think of AI as super powered tools. Tools can be wonderful, right? Help build houses, cure diseases, connect people, but in the wrong hands, a hammer can cause harm. Same goes for AI. Here are a few things that keep AI ethicists up at night. Bias: AI models learn from the data they're fed. If that data reflects existing biases in society, the AI will learn those biases too, perpetuating inequalities. Imagine a hiring AI trained on data that mostly shows men in leadership positions. It might unfairly favor male candidates for future roles. Transparency: it can be hard to understand how complex AI models make decisions. That lack of transparency can make it tough to identify and adjust bias or errors.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
getting a
yeah,
medical
yeah.
diagnosis from a doctor who can't explain the reasoning. Privacy:
Okay,
developing powerful AI often requires massive data sets, which can include sensitive personal information. Protecting people's privacy while still enabling innovation is a delicate balancing act. Accountability: if an AI makes a mistake, who's responsible? The developer, the user, the AI? Big dilemmas. It's enough to make your head spin, right? AI is evolving so quickly that we're constantly playing catch up when it comes to figuring out the ethical implications. It's a
okay,
conversation we have to
okay,
keep having,
Miles,
though. You're really
Miles.
testing my
If
patience
I'm
with
going
anything
to,
you want to, I don't know, actually say. Fine.
if I'm
Be that
going
way. I'm
to
going to go listen to
take
some
our
podcasts or something. I get
conversation
it.
to broader generative AI landscape, how are companies like Google and UiPath integrating generative AI into their existing platforms?
All right. Let's talk shop. It seems like everyone and their dog is hopping on the generative AI bandwagon these days, and Google and UiPath are no exception. They're both powerhouse companies with platforms used by millions, so how they integrate this tech is pretty significant. Google, unsurprisingly, is going all in on language models with its suite of AI powered tools. Think smarter search results, more helpful assistance, and email that practically writes itself. They're also weaving generative AI into their workspace apps. Imagine Google Docs that can automatically draft documents or suggest edits based on your context. UiPath, the robotic process automation giant, is taking a slightly different tack. They're focused on using generative AI to boost automation capabilities, making bots smarter and more adaptable. Think bots that can understand natural language instructions, learn from past actions, and even generate their own code snippets. Here's the kicker. Both companies know they need to trade carefully. Transparency, fairness, and responsible use are top of mind.
Okay.
After all, no one wants a world where AI writes biased code or generates harmful content. So, to
Okay.
sum it up, both Google and UiPath are using generative AI to push the boundaries of what their platforms can do, but they're doing it with a dose of caution, which is always a good sign.
Great, great. What are implications of high subscription cost for access to advanced AI tool startups? Okay, we have previously discussed of these questions. How now I'm going to ask another question. How is the competition among AI providers influencing the pace of innovation in the field?
Right, we have talked about this before. My bad. I get your point. AI is definitely a hot commodity, and those startup prices can be steep. But to answer your question about the competition, it's like a rocket fuel booster for innovation. Everyone's scrambling to be the best, the fastest, the fanciest. It's a constant back and forth with each company trying to outdo the other. This fierce rivalry pushes them to come up with new ideas, find smarter ways to train models, and constantly refine existing technology. It's kind of like a good old-fashioned race. No one wants to be left in the dust. The downside, of course, is that smaller startups might struggle to keep up, especially if they don't have the same deep pockets as the big players.
Yeah,
It's a tough environment, but that doesn't mean it's all doom and gloom. Sometimes adversity breeds the most creative solutions. We just might see some underdog stories emerge from all this competition. Wouldn't that be something? You seem awfully quiet. Anything
okay.
on your mind?
Miles, give me another answer of this question. What measures are being taken to ensure responsible and ethical use of generative AI technologies?
The million dollar question, or rather, the million dollar dilemma. It's great you're thinking about this stuff. Honestly, it's like the Wild West out there right now. Some people are just giddy about the possibilities and not thinking about the consequences. But thankfully, there are those who are trying to put on the saloon doors and lay down some ground rules. Silicon Valley types are starting to talk about AI ethics boards and responsible development practices. They're trying to build bias detection into the systems, make sure data is used responsibly, and create ways for humans to stay in the loop. Think of it like giving AI a conscience, or at least a moral compass. Governments are getting into the act too. Some are drafting regulations, trying to figure out how to keep things from spiraling out of control. It's tough because they don't want to stifle innovation, but they also can't just let developers do whatever they want. It's a work in progress, no doubt. It's going to take collaboration, transparency, and a whole lot of thoughtful discussion to get this right. It's a bit overwhelming, I know, but hey, at least people are starting to ask the tough questions. So
Great, great,
you're kind of
Miles. We are now
just
wrapping up our discussion today. We have enough information for the viewers of YouTube. Now, so far we have covered the information of Anthropic Claude. Recently, I think Claude 3 is emerging right now. Have the greatest information Claude has. So, Miles, ask viewers to subscribe and like our this video and subscribe to our channel, and we are going to see you in the next video.
sounds like you've got yourself a solid plan for the channel. All right, YouTube viewers, you heard the demigod himself. If you want to dive deeper into this wild world of AI and explore the frontiers of what's possible, don't be a stranger. Smash that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and we'll catch